Good morning, everyone. It's so nice to see so many people here to support climate justice. It was dawn. I stood at the edge of the fourth Damariscotta Lake, 2 weeks into my trek of the 100-mile wilderness, surrounded by miles of forest and a dusky gray sky. There was a chill in the air. The only sound was the birds singing their early morning symphony. I looked over the mist-shrouded lake to the far bank, where an unbroken line of trees stood, still in the early morning calm. With no wind, the surface of the lake was smooth and glassy. I picked a tiny pebble off the gravel beach and tossed it into the air, watching it arc through the sky before breaking the calm surface of the water with a splash. I watched as the ripples slowly spread from the place the stone hit, out across the surface of the lake. An experience like this is something that is unique to Maine. These experiences in these beautiful natural places are woven into my identity and our identity as a state. The Pine Tree Amendment will help preserve the environment so that future generations can have similar experiences. However, the Pine Tree Amendment is not just about protecting Maine's beautiful natural places. We need a clean and healthy environment to live and thrive. Environmental threats such as mining operations, chemicals like PFAS, and climate change are not only harmful to ecosystems and the natural beauty, but also pose a severe threat to our economy and human health. The impacts of climate change are already clear as floods, droughts, fires, and severe weather events intensify around the world. The warming of the Gulf of Maine is impacting fishing industries and the economy, and warmer temperatures overall are changing ecosystems and migration patterns. These effects will only intensify as time goes on. Yet even as the clock is ticking, not enough action is being taken to address this crisis. We as a state must take more steps toward addressing the climate crisis, beginning with securing our basic environmental rights. The Pine Tree Amendment will place the right to a healthy environment in the Maine Constitution, making it a fundamental right. It will provide a backstop, a tool for the people of the state of Maine to intervene if the government violates these rights. It will also work as a proactive measure, requiring the government to consider environmental impacts when making policy decisions. Furthermore, the Pine Tree Amendment will advance environmental justice. Too often, marginalized communities, including communities of color, indigenous people, and low-income communities, are impacted the most by industrial plants, mining operations, dams, and other projects that are harmful to both the environment and human health. These communities are also disproportionately impacted by the effects of the climate crisis. This is not right. All people deserve the right to a clean and healthy environment, regardless of background or identity, and the Pine Tree Amendment will help secure these rights in the state of Maine. The Pine Tree Amendment will put the power in the hands of the people. The Pine Tree Amendment will protect environmental justice. The Pine Tree Amendment will protect the rights of future generations over the short-term profit of corporations. One of the things I love about the Pine Tree Amendment is how it brings together such a diverse group of supporters from across the state, including educators, business people, farmers and fishermen, Democrats and Republicans, and young people. As young people, it is especially important that we support the Pine Tree Amendment because this is a bill about our future. We need to use our voices to demand that lawmakers pass legislation that protects the environment, promotes environmental justice, and secures a future where we can thrive. Sometimes issues like the climate crisis can feel overwhelming, and sometimes it feels like we can't make a difference and it's useless to try. But the fact is, together, we can make a difference. Woo! You all can make a difference, starting here and now by advocating for the Pine Tree Amendment and other legislation that will promote climate justice. Our voices are powerful, and like that pebble I threw into the water that morning in the 100-mile wilderness, our voices and actions can create ripple effects of change. I have seen so much energy from young people around the Pine Tree Amendment, and it gives me hope. Now more than ever, we need legislation that will secure the right to a healthy environment for generations to come. And I hope you'll join me in advocating for the Pine Tree Amendment. Thank you.